This one is for all you people who are looking to run, but have never done that a day in your life. Where do we start? It's one of the most basic forms of exercise for your cardiovascular system. To a certain degree, it can help with strengthening your legs and joints, but the main focus is on that aerobic system. You don't really need a lot of equipment besides perhaps a good pair of shoes. And some people say you might not even need shoes for you barefoot people out there. And it is very energizing when you get the blood pumping. But despite some of these great things, it can be a very stressful form of exercise, especially if you do it wrong. Looking into shoes, get a good pair of shoes if you're serious about walking or running. But not all are created equally. If possible, look for a wider toe box shoe, not a wide shoe, a wide toe box, so your feet, your toes can spread out. In essence, this picture on the right, where the toes are more narrow and smashed into the shoe, it creates an artificial narrowing of your foot, so you lose stability and you might collapse in or roll outwards. And if you're really serious, there's something called video gait analysis. This is where a physical therapist or professional will film you from different angles and break down your running mechanics. So in addition to shoes, heart rate monitors are great for tracking your heart rate. I mean, you can see it in real time. And we won't get into it today, but as if you can see your heart rate, you can start to train up to your lactate threshold. Google it if you're very interested about learning. These pictures are just samples of bunions, so where your big toe starts to move inwards. Some people are just born with it or are predisposed, but a lot of people artificially create this with poor footwear. These are heart rate monitors. There's so many different kinds. There's ones where you can wear across your body. There's wrist straps, there's armbands, but you can connect most of these to your phone or any mobile device, and then you can see your heart rate in real time. So you can see exactly how hard you're working or how hard you're not working. Starting out, don't just dive in. You need to slowly progress this over time. If you do too much too soon, you can really risk getting injury. So give your body time to adjust. So if you're thinking of walking, depending on how hard or how long you're planning on going, you can do it every day. Or if you're really just starting out, maybe just 3 times a week is good enough. So walk, walk, walk. It is very underrated. You don't need to be pouring with sweat. People love to feel dead tired. This is not the point of walking. It can be for some people, but this is just to get your body used to this movement. So once you're comfortable with consistent walking, you can move on to jogging. With jogging, you can pick up the pace, but don't feel like you have to run 1 mile continuously. That can be a great goal, but just start with intervals. So walk, jog, and repeat that cycle. The time you spend doing those things can be up to you. For example, you can do 1 minute of walking, 1 minute of jogging, and just keep alternating back and forth. That might be hard if you're just starting out. You can start very conservatively. So for example, you can walk for 4 minutes and then jog for 1. So you have these 5-minute cycles that you can do, let's just say, from anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes just to start. Because you're moving a little bit faster, you can learn to hit your stride. Just like any exercise, it takes a while to get used to it and become more efficient with that movement. So give it time. Jogging, starting out, just do 1 to 2 times per week. Very similarly, once you get used to jogging, you can start to add speed. You can use the same protocol. You can do intervals or continuous running. And like I mentioned before with the heart rate monitors, because you're going at a faster speed, it's easier to bring your heart rate up. So having that heart rate monitor to see how hard you're working can be super beneficial. Similarly, like jogging, start with just 1 to 2 times per week just to get used to it. So put it all together. Good shoes are the base for it. Whether you're just doing a walking program, a running program, it will help you tremendously. One of the most important things, I would say the most important, is to slowly progress. Do not do too much too soon. If you've never ran a day in your life, don't just start running. You can handle it short term. Our bodies are very resilient, but at some point, the straw will break the camel's back. And we don't want it to be your back or your knees or your ankles or your shin splints. We don't want any injuries to happen. So be patient, trust the process, start slow, and of course, have fun along the way. It should be a great experience. We want you to get the most out of it. Exercise is always here to help, not harm. As always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or snide remarks, stay connected, shoot me a message, but otherwise we'll see you in the next fitness video, or perhaps I'll see you out on the trails.